attack. Warlord's Palace, Unstable Rift, Mantle Cafeteria. I would really like to get Warlord's Palace, but I mean, it's fine. And Silver's not that bad. I'm a Warlord's Palace enjoyer. I just like portals where like the game is not too high variance, but all good. Oh yeah, and you're playing Caitlyn, right? Yeah, you said you played some Caitlyn games on the match. That's awesome. Okay. Area's Karma opener. I mean, I am honestly down to play around either one of these. We'll see what our opener ends up being, and like what our items are. But like I see either one of these, and I am down to play. Like, you know, your game can be very easily if you just simplify it into like a Noxus game at the start or a Karma like Invokers game at the start, depending on the items you get.
Yeah, I think this game ends up being a Karma game.
Something you should think about here, I don't think it's correct here, but if you do get crazy stuff in your shop here, you can lock this 1/4 shop. So usually like I'll see my 1/4 shop and I'll wait a sec to think about like if I actually want to lock. Like, you know, in one last patch, if I ever saw a shop that had like Swain plus like a Noxus unit, like Swain Samira, would absolutely just lock that shop, because if you get Stars Are Born, then like your game is just like free from that position. Like it's just so easy. So just something to keep in mind, that like you can lock this shop if you hit something really good. So yeah. And yeah, you field this board here, which I think is fine. The downside is if we want to pre-level, we're gonna have to sell Irelia. But I mean, yeah, you have to either commit to the Irelia or the Malzahar here, or you could even just hold 2 Cho'Gaths. Like, I would usually hold the 2 Chos, but it's not a big difference here because you want to hold this. I guess I'd probably sell the Irelia here, unless this works opener. Yeah, I think this is fine. And I do like pre-leveling in this situation, because we're Caitlyn, we have Stars Are Born as an option. Like, if you pre-level here and you hit like a Swain or something, you can add that to your board goes crazy. So yeah, I'm really a big proponent of just pre-leveling, especially in a spot like this where we have 3 item components. Like, we can play for streak, we have a 2-star unit. Like, if we hit something like if you like something like Cassidon even, it's really strong as well. So yeah, oftentimes when I'm playing Caitlyn, I'm pre-leveling here, because yeah, like now if we take Stars Are Born, I mean, it's still very good, but the chance of hitting a 2-cost in our shop is much lower. So yeah, but yeah, I think Stars Are Born is broken, so I am down to take that over most augments. Trying to think, maybe like the Shimmer Scale one you could take here over it, but even then, I don't know. That person's Stars Are Born. Yeah, I would probably just take Stars here. Okay. Options wise here, we have Samira 2. This is new patch, so I have to remember that Samira's not giga broken, but she's still solid. We have Soraka. I mean, we have the Soraka 2 with Invokers. I'm down. Yeah, I'm down to make the Soraka 2 here. The only sad thing is we don't have another like Brawler frontliner to play. I'd really like Soraka and then like a Renekton 2 to play here, but I like Soraka here a good bit. And then we just play around Invokers and put in like maybe like Aurelia as our frontline. I never do this. Like, you run down so far and it like moves the camera, and it always like freaks me out when I do this. Okay, so yeah, you're thinking about it for a while. I mean, I think we should buy something here. I'm not like, if you bought like Malzahar here and committed more towards like playing around Sorks, I wouldn't say I'd necessarily dislike that. But I do like just buying something here and probably leveling and playing it, because like, where Stars Are Born, we can play for streak from this position. Like, it is not a bad spot whatsoever. So I think we should be playing like a bit more aggressively here. That's partially why I like the pre-level, just because it gives you a higher chance to see broken stuff and play around it. But also, yeah, like I'm almost always leveling in this spot. Like, we have Cho'Gath 2 already. We have pretty good items as well. Like, we can make the Sunfire and put the protectors on him, the like Void item. So yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. What's your thinking here in this position? I guess take me into your, if you remember what you were thinking in the spot.
I wasn't ready to commit to Source or Invoker. I think I ended up buying the Soraka after the round ends.
You said you weren't ready to commit. Is that what you said to either one of them?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't have much time because I scouted a lot before this augment selection, so I didn't have exactly enough time to pick the person I wanted to pick. But
yeah,
usually I do pre-level. I don't know why I didn't this game.
Yeah, like, it sometimes just, you know, slips your mind. You're watching the new episode of One Piece on the other monitor and you don't do it. But okay, I think like this is something that I noticed. It's definitely happened with a bunch of the people that I coached yesterday as well. I feel like a lot of players are just like really afraid to just commit to a line. Like, you see the Soraka and you're like, oh, I could play Invokers, and you see the Mouse and you're like, oh, I could play Sorks, and like, it's good to pick the best option here, which I think is Soraka. but I would prefer you pick a slightly worse option, like just Malzahar here, and then just commit to playing that, than like commit to nothing here, you know? So like, obviously in these situations, you should try to evaluate your options and pick what the strongest thing is. But I do think like there's something to be said just for committing to something in this position and just picking it and like being happy with just having that direction and like having a strong board. I don't know if you win or lose this fight. Um, but yeah, I would make Sunfire here. Yeah, you want to make Sunfire because we're probably playing an AP angle. I don't know if this was your what's your thinking behind a Sunfire here?
Oh, I saw this board. I was like, maybe I could win if I make the Sunfire. I saw like 3 tank items. My first items. I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna be AP, AD. But I'll probably make a Sunfire. Maybe slam the MR shred item
Ionic.
because those do really well together.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing with this is that if you're gonna play AP, which I see this shop and I see our start and I think I'm like guaranteed to play AP this game. I'm either gonna play Invokers or I'm gonna play Sorks. You can like maybe if you high roll for some other opener, but like play something else. But I would just I have like really good direction with either the Soraka 2 or the Malzahar 2 here, and the fact that we have Cho'Gath 2. So I'm committed to wanting to play AP here. And so yeah, I really like making Sunfire in this spot because it leaves the cloak open for Ionic, which is just the best item in pretty much every AP comp. You need it so much. So yeah, I like this for basically the reason you said. But yeah, I think yeah, you're sort of like stuck between two ideas here, and you definitely like had you didn't have like infinite time, so like I can see why it takes you a while, but like I do think like I would have been fine if you bought Malzahar there and committed to AP. I think or to Sorks. It would have been worse, but you probably like if you have Malz and you level there, you almost certainly win that fight and you level for like Oriana, like Malz 2 Ori. So yeah. But now we've committed to the Soraka and the Invokers line. I don't dislike buying Irelia here. You always sort of have to think about like what one costs you can get and how good they're gonna be. The other one cost that you like would really want in this spot is like Cassiopeia, but I really do like having like a balance of frontline and backline. Like oftentimes it's actually 2 cost tank and 1 cost carry. So it's like Swain 2, Malzahar 1 with Stars Are Born. But in this spot, we actually took Soraka 2. So we really just need to fortify our front line. We already have the Cho'Gath 2, which is really nice. But I'm fine taking Irelia, even just leveling for her this round. And then eventually we're going to get into Ionia. Like best case scenario, we get Irelia 2 in here. And then next round we can find a set and play it over the Cho'Gath and just have like a very solid opener. So yeah, that's what I think about this setup. I think you are a bit too like I would almost always be level 4 in this situation. If you're going to play Caitlyn and you're going to play her on Stars Are Born, you should ideally be playing to like try to win streak every game that you can. You can't win streak every single game. Sometimes you just Giga low roll your opener or you get 0 items or something like that. But I would absolutely in a spot like this be trying to play for win streak. So yeah, you hit the Gallia, which is very good. But yeah, I think what are you thinking about? Like the one, are you trying to go for like Cassiopeia? And that's
I was looking for Cassiopeia, Renekton. The thing is, I hit like Cho'Gath like 3 times here, and I was like, what? Well, like, I don't need 6 Cho'Gaths.
Yeah. We're not gonna go Cho bite him here. That's fine. That's that's for the meme videos. Yeah, I think I mean Renekton would be amazing as well. I would absolutely take it if offered, but I think Irelia was serviceable as well. I think like
yeah, I didn't even think about the Ionian line.
Yeah, I think one of the things that makes I mean like pretty much the main thing that makes Caitlyn hard to play is like stuff like this where you have to be sort of like flexible around like, okay, you know, I could play Bruisers plus Invokers, I could play Ionia, I could play Sorks, like all of this. Like being able to play all of them makes Caitlyn better, but it's what makes Caitlyn quite hard. Because yeah, like I don't know, when I was learning Caitlyn, I would watch like Joe Bookmark play Caitlyn, and you know he would do stuff like take lines that I never would have thought of, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool that he takes that line. But like it would be like I was just never even thinking of this as a possibility. Karma with Rod here is insane. Oh my god, yeah, that is so good. Karma pair, and we get the Rod for Ionic, and this comp also needs like as many rods as possible. You want like Ionic, Gunblade, and like JG at least. So yeah, I really like this, and yeah, I would just slam the Ionic every time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I see the Lissandra here, and I decided to commit to the 4 Invokers instead of the Renekton pair.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think
and then just agreed for a Cassiopeia for 6 Invoker.
Yeah, I think that's fine at this point. Yeah, because I mean, like Renekton versus Cho, like kind of no diff. They're both just a 2-star bruiser. So yeah, I don't think you need to build Renekton here. I think this is very good. And yeah, ooh, bad. Also, I like what you did. Like, I think we're almost always gonna make this Ionic Spark here, but I do like the sort of what's the word, discipline to not slam here if you don't need to actually slam the item. I think that is how you should play TFT. But then like I like this, yeah, perfect. Where it's a much stronger board, and then we just slam Ionic here. I like that a lot. So
That positioned on the right side to avoid the
yeah.
snipe.
Very nice, like a beast. And then you end up winning the fight and getting a 4 streak. So nice. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could have 5 streak this game if we leveled earlier. So I like how you played the early game out mostly. And I think if we had just committed to this comp at 2-1 instead of like waiting around. But yeah, like you know, TFT's a game, you have limited time. And so sometimes stuff like that happens. So yeah. This is this new patch? This is new patch, right?
Yeah, that's a new patch.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, items here. It's just gonna be another tank item plus like some kind of sword item for karma. We have kind of a lot of tank items, but it's fine. It'll work out. Um, and yeah, we have. Oh wait, you got dropped like 2 Gallios, or like 3 Gallios or something. You just got the Gallio too. That's nice. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
this is a really solid opener. I mean, we basically have high rolled all of our upgrades, which is really good. So we don't have to roll it all at 3-2. We can just go like fast level 7 and just play around this comp. So really, really just smooth early game. The game has given us some pretty good stuff. So very nice. Okay. Augments here. I mean, I always basically roll knowledge download. I'd probably always roll blinding speed. Worst case, it's transfusion, but unrestricted transfusion is not ideal. You got hedge fund, which is an interesting choice. Endless hordes. Ooh, is also. I mean, I'd probably just take. Okay, this could. I don't know what you take here. But endless hordes is very solid. You can play like invoker endless hordes. If you don't take that, because you're not comfortable playing around it, fair. Then I guess I would just take hedge fund and go like a fast 8, maybe fast 9 angle because your win
I think I
streak.
reroll and take whatever I get.
Okay, let's see. Because yeah, I don't love transfusion here. Oh, social distancing 3 is also quite solid. I think endless hordes. I mean, they did slight nerf it this patch, by a little bit less gold, but invoker endless hordes is really good because you're like giving all of that mana to your invokers and to like all of your team. So and you're on like a win streak here, so you can keep pushing your streak and like taxing the lobby's HP. So I'm pretty sure endless hordes is actually really solid in this spot. But social distancing not bad, and it's also like it's a lot easier to play than Endless Hordes, where like if you mess up, you're just gonna be like super dizzy and not know what to play. So yeah, I think it's fine to take social distancing here, but I think you should at some point just try out just taking Endless Hordes in a spot like this because I think the spot for it's quite good. So yeah,
Yeah, I consider it because I remember the game you played, Endless Swords and
hmm
Tourney.
yeah,
I was thinking about that. I was like, the 4 sword, 6 invoker line.
hmm yeah, and that felt yeah, it was for Sork. I don't know how many evokers I got to, but yeah, like it's good. But to be fair, I also played a game in tourney, not in Shrima Cup, but in the like this qualifier tournament where I took Endless Hordes and went 7th because I just got like dizzy and didn't know what to play. So it's the two sides of Endless Hordes. Okay, you start rolling here. I'm pretty sure you just don't need to roll here. Like look at our board objectively. We have Karma 2, Soraka 2. Like you could have rolled like in an average game, you could have rolled and not hit this board. Like this board is insanely strong. I don't think you need to roll in this spot. I think maybe you're trying to find something. You're trying to find an upgraded unit so that you make use of your Stars Are Born value, which like fair, but like yeah, I don't think you need to roll here. Especially like you hit like a Renekton here. Like you can just take the Renekton and be done with it. Like Cassio is great and all, but like yeah, you don't really need to roll in a situation like this. This is also I was talking about this on stream a little bit earlier, but just like the best players um do really well just with what they're already given. Like a very strong player here, I don't think needs to roll at all, and they could have just played around their shops. Like, I mean, hindsight, if like we had the Irelia or something, I mean, you roll once here. Like once you have like this shop with like set and Jintu, we like you could have even just like played around that, maybe like set Jintu in. If you had the Irelia, then it would be like Irelia plus set in. I mean, especially once you hit even just like the Vi, you could play Vi and just be done with it. But yeah, I think you're prioritizing a little too highly. Like you really want to you really want to like get I'm thinking your Casio 2 here, but I think like a lot of people sort of like tunnel vision on getting like Casio 2 in this situation, or just like making your stars born, but it really doesn't matter that much. Casio 2 versus not Casio 2 on your board, it's it's no diff. Like it's a very small difference. But yeah, what were
Yeah, I
you
got
thinking?
super tunnel visioned on it for sure.
Yeah. I think that's a big weakness of a lot of players, myself included sometimes, where you you have an opener, and so you tunnel vision and say, okay, the only unit that I can play here is Cassiopeia. But in reality, like there's a lot of like you can just level here and play another Galio. Like it's fine. Your board's so strong already. You do not like rolling should be saved for if you have a lot of pairs. So like you have a high sort of like value of rolling here, and we don't have any pairs here actually. Or if you like really need to spike your board's power, and neither are really applicable here. We can just go fast 7 from this spot because we naturaled everything. Like this reminds me of a game I played when I played Invokers in Tourney, and I had a spot like this where I naturaled Arma 2 and I naturaled List 2, and I was just like, okay, well, I don't need to roll at 6 anymore because I've hit everything already. Like, there's barely anything to roll for in this spot. So yeah, I think your tunnel vision on like finding that one upgrade, but yeah, like even here, I would just be done. If you want to roll at all, I would just be done the second I hit that Renekton. I would hold the Vi, and then the second you hit Renekton, just put Renekton 2 in, and you're done. So yeah, I think it's fine. Um, or it's yeah, it's fine to not roll here. It's not ideal to roll here. So yeah, but I mean, overcoming tunnel vision is a huge thing in TFT. Because the best players are able to play around everything. Did we? We didn't buy this Lysandra, right? We need this Lysandra. This is Lysandra too. That's sitting in our shop, right? I think. Okay, yeah, you get. I hope. Okay, yeah. It's fine to not make gold there. Like, if you ever in a situation like that where you have an upgrade that is really relevant for your board, it's like almost always correct to just not make gold and buy it.
I'm
Especially
pretty
because
sure I super overrolled here.
yeah, I can. Yeah, I mean, we definitely. If we rolled last round, like maybe, but like definitely not. Unless you're like committing to Soraka reroll or something, but there's no need to do that.
Which
We
I
can.
also know there's a Winds of War player.
So yeah, it's yeah, I think you super tunnel visioned here on Cass, but I think it's a really good lesson to know that just like you don't need to you almost never need one specific unit. Like maybe if you have like 7 void in and you need to roll down and find your 8 void unit, and it completes some really broken synergy, you can roll a lot and find it. But in this situation, it's not even that we have 3 invoker and we're looking for a 4th invoker. We're looking for a 5th invoker. Like who cares about the cast? Like, it doesn't really do anything. Um it's nice, but it's definitely not necessary. Um so yeah, I would just keep that in mind when situations like these. We had another Karma here with Glove. The Glove's not bad. You probably have to take it. I would have always taken a Rod here if there was an opportunity to, but there was only one Rod that got taken on or got. You just need so many Rods in this comp. Like, we got our first Rod for Ionic. We really want to build JG and Gunblade, but I mean, the Glove is not bad. It can be like Guardbreaker, or we can just save it for JG. So yeah, and it's a 6th Karma, which is kind of wild. We have 6 Karmas here, so not bad. You're reading chat? Oh, okay. Well, all good, I guess.
No,
All good, all good. Um, you make Karma 2 here, or not you make Karma, but you make Guardbreaker here. I think this is fine. We're not on a win streak anymore. I probably would have actually greeted the component just because I don't love Guardbreaker without JG built yet. Just because, like you're wasting the spell crit on her. So I probably would have greeted it, especially because we're no longer on a win streak. If you were still streaking here, I definitely would have just made JG. Um, but yeah, I think like once you lose your streak, it's fine to just sack 2 here and try to make JG just because JG Guardbreaker without JG feels kind of bad. It's not terrible, and like I would definitely always build it if you have to, but I don't think you really have to here. All this rolling on 6, we do end up finding a Shen on level 6, which is not bad. And there, at long last, is the Cassio. Okay, we rolled all this time for this Cassio, and we didn't put it in here for 6 Invoker. Like, I would just cut the Cho'Gath, move the items to Shen, and just get 6 Invoker in here. Like, it's already 6 Invoker is really strong. Um,
they can do that next round. I didn't have much
yeah,
time.
that's fair. Fair. We also have so many Sorakas, so I guess we're gonna hit Soraka 3 this game. Fine. Okay, so yeah, you just ran out of time. Fair enough. Yeah, I would itemize the Shen. I know it's like maybe close, but even with the buffs to Shen, Shen 1 might be stronger than it. But I mean, they buff Galio as well. The problem is, I mean, I guess we have this remover. Okay, I don't dislike this actually, because we can just remove the items off Galio once we find Shen 2. Okay, I think this is fine. If you don't have remover, I would always just put him on Shen because like it's awkward to remake Galio, though you have 1 on bench, but like finding another Galio too. But yeah, I actually, because of remover, I think this is completely fine. That's good. But yeah, okay. So we rolled a lot. We're like a little bit broke compared to how rich we could have been this game, but we've hit Shen. We have 6 karmas. It's actually not a bad spot to be in. We hit so much on 6. Hitting the Shen on 6 was really good. Um, so now at this point we're just looking to and I mean we're probably gonna hit a random Soraka 3, which like because we have social distancing is even better. Like we're probably not gonna have items on her for most of the game. Like it's gonna take really long to get items on her, but because we have social distancing, she already has like half an item or a third of an item or something. Okay. Items wise here, we get dropped. Oh, we get dropped 2 rods, which is really nice. So hindsight is hindsight. If we had saved that glove, like we could have made JG Gunblade. Instead, we're stuck with like Guardbreaker Gunblade, and then we have to save this for JG. And I'm probably making Shojin here. I think Gunblade is like so insane on Karma, especially I like the game I played in. I had the Invoker augment. I forget what it is. Like every time they cast, you gain AP, and that's like so good. But like even just Karma with Gunblade, just so that you can buy more time for Invoker to proc more on your entire team is really good. But always make Gunblade here, and then it probably has to end up just being Shojin. I want to save this other rod for JG. Like JG Gunblade in your spot is really good, and obviously like you already have Avionics, so you don't need that. And then like yeah, just Shojining the Straka seems fine. Um, so yeah, did you roll there? Yes. Okay. You're addicted to rolling. Roll less. Like, we definitely don't need to roll here. If we're gonna roll here at all, I would like level and roll, but then we're super broke. I would probably just wait 1 round and then go 7 and roll. I never like rolling in situations like this, um, where like where we're about to level up, basically. Like, I don't really want to roll on 6 because we're about to go level 7. And maybe you're rolling to, like, try to find Soraka, but, like, it's not that important, and we can just find Soraka 3 on 7. And, like, really what we want on 7 is to be able to find, like, Tarek, be able to find Shen 2, be able to find Karma. So, yeah, I would just wait 1 round and then and level here. You end up going Shojin here on the Karma and then Gunblade. So, yeah, I like the items that you built, but I would probably just try to greed for JG on this Karma unit. She doesn't really need Shojin that much. Shojin's kind of an afterthought because she gets so much mana gen from Invoker already. So I love just going triple damage on her. It's very different for someone like Lux, who like Lux. It's kind of the opposite where Lux like gets her AP from her trait, so you don't need to build like full damage on her. You can build a little bit of mana gen and it's good. Whereas like Karma gets so much mana gen from her trait that you want to just build damage on her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I would probably just. I mean, you do still have the remover, so you can move it to Soraka later. But I wanted to use the. I mean, I guess we have 5 Gallios, so maybe we can end up just selling the Galleon and remaking it. It's fine. Um, but yeah, I think maybe if that's yeah, I guess I'm curious to see how long this Shojin stays on the Karma. Because like I think if you're thinking of selling the Galio, remaking and moving the items over, and then using the remover to get items off Karma, then I think that's fine. But I think yeah, in general, like you're not gonna want Shojin on Karma here. You're gonna want a third damage item, but we'll see. And Comet Caster is very solid in this comp. Healing Orbs is not even bad either. Rolling for Days is bad. So I'd roll that for sure. Probably rolled it. Oh, Invoker Crest, and it guarantees Soraka 3 or Comet Caster. It's probably just Invoker Crest here, guaranteeing Soraka 3. I am down. Comet Caster is definitely not bad, but I think Invoker Crest is really good here. Magic Wand's not that amazing. It's okay, but like what, we're gonna build like a death cap here? Like we actually already have a good amount of AP from social distancing. So we don't really need like even more AP. Like I think actually getting the Invoker Crest, which is gonna allow you to just play like allow you to play like a level 8 board on level 7. It's going to allow you like late game to play like Invoker Ari, which goes crazy. Like that would be really good. And also it gives you Soraka 3 here, which is not bad at all. So yeah, I would always take that. And you keep rolling on 6 here. I would just go 7 here and start rolling. Um, if you want to roll deep, I don't think you even have to roll that deep because your board's pretty strong. But I'd go 7 here, and just roll for something to play. You could even like if you want to be more greedy, just go 7 and just like play a Soraka or a Karma and don't roll at all. I would really like to find a Tarek, but yeah, like you're just rolling with slightly worse odds. I think I mean, I imagine you're rolling here at 6 because you want to find Soraka 3. Is that right? Or tell me like what you're thinking in the
Yeah,
spot.
for sure. And I want to find the Soraka before this other guy because I know he's wins a war Galio trying to play Soraka as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
Which I really probably should have taken the Invoker and guaranteed Soraka,
Right.
like as you said. But I saw this for some reason. I was like, oh, Magic Wand. That's just gonna be so much better for
Yeah.
some reason because I already
I
had
mean,
6 Invoker.
yeah. I mean, Magic Wand is solid in this comp, and yeah, like you already have 6 Invoker. There's no like 8 Invoker to play for. But I like it just guarantee the Soraka, and then you can end up like cutting Cassio, and then like late game you end up cutting Galio. Like you just get to cut the worst units. But yeah, like if you didn't have Soraka pairs, I'd think about it more, but I still think it's quite solid there. And then also, yeah, like this Soraka is not that important because we don't have any items on her really. Like we put the Q cone on her this round, but like Yeah, we don't really have anything. Like maybe we build like Death Cap on her, which is like fine, but then like our karma items are worse than like I was talking about before, like the JG. So yeah, like it's fine, but like she has one item on her. She has two like this round, but like it's not actually that important to hit Soraka 3. I'd much rather be rolling on 7, trying to find like Tarek, and then the thing is like when you have a unit like this, like Soraka, which is not like it's not necessary to hit Soraka 3 in this comp. Same thing with Galio. It's not like necessary to hit Soraka 3 or Galio. They're just kind of like nice things if you can hit them. I tend to like to just like push the next level and then just trust that like we'll find Soraka 3 on 7. Like we only have to find one. If the Galio player ends up dying, like we can just get it, or we can just find it even though they've taken a decent amount out of the pool. Multiple people can hit 3-star 2 costs. So yeah, I think just going 7 is a lot higher value here. If like we had all of our items on Soraka and this was like a Soraka carry comp, then I could kind of see it. But like we have 7 karmas. Like our carry is going to end up being karma this game. So yeah, I guess it's sort of just thinking about like what level is the best level to roll on to maximize us hitting the stuff that's most relevant. Because like I think in your spot you deemed like hitting Straka 3 really relevant and like it's solid, but I don't think it's as important as going 7 and hitting Shen 2, Taric, Karma 3, maybe List 3 if you have enough gold for it. So yeah, that's how I'm thinking about this decision. And then also like Magic Wand kind of baits you into building the death cap, which means now we can't get JG. Also, it's kind of funny. Okay, it doesn't. We aren't able to end up getting it, but it was a Sirach with glove on carousel. So like if we had gotten it, it would have been like everything perfect. End up taking tier here, which I think is fine. Like belt doesn't really do much. Worst case, this could be like a Q cone for frontline if the lobby is pretty AP heavy. Like there's this Invoker's player. I don't know what the rest of the I don't know what the rest of the lobby looks like, but yeah, like if there's a lot of AP in this lobby, then I think a chalice on just like Shen is completely fine. We do want to build some armor though, because yeah, like this person's AD. So yeah, I think it's fine to just sit on. I probably wouldn't just slam the tier here. Because like worst case, I would just end up making a chalice on my Shen. But like ideally this becomes like gargoyles. So um, but yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, you're still 85 HP, like super win streaking here, and you're only 2 karmas off. It's a good spot. Um, yeah, I would just basically, I mean, you don't have any gold here, so you can't really start rolling, but I would just be slow rolling. Yeah, like this, though. I don't actually love rolling in a spot like that when we're not super close to hitting, because like if no gold level 6, I just slow roll.
Talking about the other guy.
Oh, okay, okay. um, yeah, I mean,
I was thinking about setting it down for Karma 3.
I don't think you need to here. I don't think there's any need. You're 75 HP. Um, Like you're completely comfortable. The other person also didn't even have that many karmas, right? They had like 3 karmas or something.
He had 6.
Oh, he had 6. I mean, a little bit more so maybe then. It also depends on what their HP is. We can go back and look at their position again. Oh yeah, okay, so they have 3 here. Okay, and they're 44 HP. Man, it's quite annoying to be contested. Like ideally we just aren't in this position. But let's see. 6 karmas. But I mean he's level 6 0 gold though. He can't hit. He has no gold to hit 2 more
That's why I
karmas.
said that.
Okay, 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 yeah.
That's why I'm just gonna slow down.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I think that's completely yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's completely correct. Oh, another thing here, positioning wise, you probably want your Galio to be in front of your Karma. She is gonna do like a big triple cast, where she's gonna hit a lot of stuff, but like for her first couple of casts, you really want the target she's hitting to be shred by the Galio. So I would just be looking to have the Galio like here. It's just a little bit sad because the Galio's not that tanky, so like in that last fight, he'd probably just get one shot. But it's just nice to have him in front of the Karma, definitely. Um, so yeah, just like always having your Ionic in front of your carry, basically. Okay, so we get, um, let's see. So we have these components, and then we have the tier open on Soraka here. I'd like to finish my tank items here. Um, but if it's Warmog's, I mean, Warmog's Q-Cone's not that bad, and then you just leave it on Soraka for the value. What are your other options here? Like Archangel's Zephyr. I really like finishing the last tank item here, so I guess it has to be Warmog's. And I mean, you have a little bit of armor and a little bit of MR from this. But yeah, I would probably just go Warmogs and then make the Q-Cone here. And like, I wouldn't have put it on Soraka. I would have just put it on a random frontliner here. Because it's actually like, with the changes to Chalice of Power, it's actually like a, kind of like a frontline item. It gives you a lot of MR. So, I'd put
Yeah, it
like,
gets like 40 now, right?
yeah, it's like 40, 45, something like that. So yeah, like, just putting it on like this random Sejuani or this random Galio adds a lot of frontline. So yeah, like because we have this tier on the Soraka, unless we want to like remove it, which you totally could, but then you have to like sell Galio, which is really awkward. Um, like now we're not that happy about making Chalice of Power, which I prefer to make a situation like this because if you make like Archangel Zephyr, the downside is we're stuck with a 2-item tank here, which feels quite bad. Like you'd really like to have just a 3-item tank at this phase in the game. I think it's fine to roll. I probably would have just rolled to 40 here and not rolled any deeper. Like this person's still 6 karmas. They have 0 gold at this point, so like they're not going to. They did go level 7, but yeah, they're not gonna be able to hit karma 3 before you. And you're really healthy, so I don't feel that much of a need to roll like really deep here. I'd probably just stay at 40 and then just roll to like 40 each round, and then just chill on that. Just because, yeah, I don't think there's any rush to finding this karma. Like if you were 20 HP, then sure, roll down, but you're 75 HP. Like you don't have to roll deep, and like making more income is going to allow you to push 8, get Rise and Ari in, and then like have a really capped board. But I like that you don't roll below 30. It's just a small thing. I'd probably just even stay below or stay above 50 just to be even more greedy. But yeah, I mean you end up above 40 here, which is good. But yeah, I would definitely roll here, and I think it's fine to roll down to 4. Ooh, Rise, very solid. Can just come in over Cassio. Yeah, immediately sold. And you roll pretty deep here. Also, you roll over some Tarex. I really like Tarek in this comp. Um, just because, like, there's so much shielding with Shen, with just Tarek himself, with all of the healing from from this karma, like I would at least hold on to the Tarek so that once you hit Tarek 2, you can just play it over Sedge. Like you don't really need the Freljord effect that much. Sedge 2, of course, like a way better unit than Tarek 1. But I think once you hit Tarek 2, once you hit Shen 2, it's gonna become preferable to this Sedge. Like that's how that's the capped version of the comp on level 7, and then level 8 is just add Ari, ideally. What rise is this? I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, it's Piltover Rise? It's like actually one of the worst rises, but of course, I mean you have to play Rise in this comp, so it's fine. Um, how did I lose? We can go back and look at
Yeah,
the
I know. I
fight.
said that. I was just mulling.
I mean, they have a lot of 3-star carries, and like I think the biggest issue is we just have like no front line. This, I mean, at least we have
I
the.
didn't have my. I think I recognized that the Ionic is not in front of the Karma.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's close to. I think it's. It ends up ulting here, which like sometimes this like diagonally is. I don't know. You'd have to right click the Swain to see if it's Ionic range, because sometimes I feel like it. Like sometimes I'm surprised that like this unit is or isn't in Ionic range, but yeah, it's possible that Ionic wasn't on the Karma unit, which feels bad. I mean, it's pretty close, but yeah.
No, I was
I
just
mean,
mad
it's
because like I had like 5 upgrades there and then I lost.
yeah. I mean, yeah. They're. I mean, they. You know, these guys 3-star. They have pretty solid items. Their augments, like they actually have like no combat augments though, so it is a little bit surprising that you lose this fight. I think it comes down to like a frontline diff though. Like if you had like Shen 2 with items, or even just like 3-item Galio 2. All right, here I'm still just thinking about my last tank item here. I would definitely take Gargoyles if I could get it. If I can't get that, um, like maybe Ionius. Probably just JG for we don't have JG Rocco, right? We have Archangel's Deathcap. Yeah. Yeah, I would just always take Gargoyles here. Yeah, I like this a lot. Just because yeah, I like finishing out my tank items. And yeah, like I mean, you could even remove her and then put these items on Sedge for now, and then once you find Shentu, sell the Sedge and move them over. That's probably correct. Um, just because she's gonna be tankier than this random Galio. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played with the new Galio, but from these fights, it does not look like he's that tanky. He's like a little tanky, but not that tanky. And if you're upset about the Ionic last fight, I mean, this Galio ends up like wrapping around to the front line and ends up sort of delivering Ionic there. But yeah, our Ionic Spark is in like Narnia compared to our Karma. She's like all the way over here. So you should probably just like swap these two. But I know you're looking for like Zephyr here, so it's a little bit hard. But then you can just like swap Shen and Galio like this, so at least it's in front. Yeah, like that exactly. But yeah, I mean, top 3 here pretty solid so far. Let's see how the last few fights go and see if we can win out in this lobby. We still don't have Shentu, which is kind of crazy, but I mean the fact that we have Karma 3 um, makes our board at least like almost stable. But I mean this area board is pretty strong, and we also have so much HP, which is nice. But yeah, I mean at this point, I think we're just looking to go level 8. Ideally Hyrule and Ari, but yeah, it's good to hold on to this set because you can just get you can get set in here at 8, so I like that. Um, and then yeah, we'll see how the next fights go. Item here. We're not actually really like looking for anything too like we have triple tank item. We probably are just looking for third Soraka item here, though we end up rolling JG, which is funny. And none of these are that great on Soraka. We even take here. Most of these are untakeable. Maybe just E for frontline. The other option would be like, I don't know, Archangel's Rise, Edge of Night Rise, Archangel, and these guys. I might just take BT for frontline here. I don't really, maybe Titans. I've heard some people are
Yeah, I
big
thought
proponents of the.
Titans for frontline.
Yeah.
I figured that'd be better than BT.
I
I don't
think
know.
I've heard a lot of people talk about like Titan's Shen. I think it's okay, but the problem is like the Shen one's just gonna end up getting one shot. Like a lot of these units, I like Sejuani will probably live long enough for this Titans, but this Shen one right now is like probably not gonna live long enough to proc Titans. I think you can probably take it, put it on Sedge now, and then end up moving it to Shen later. That's probably best. I think like in the immediate term, BT gives you more frontline for now, but yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, Titans is going to be good once we hit Shen 2. It's like, I don't think it does that much on Sedge, but like it makes her shield a little bit bigger with the AP. So yeah, I don't think it's bad. Um, and yeah, okay, we fight this person again, and now we end up winning the fight. We have some more tank items, so they just can't shred through our front line. So like that, and then there's Shen 2. Yeah, I would definitely move the Galio items with the remover and just put them on Shen for sure. But yeah, like ideally we would have just a triple item Shen here, as opposed to having like two Galio items here, two items on Sedge. It's kind of awkward. Um, Shen is just gonna be way tankier. I mean, Galio tanks for a little while, but like Shen in most fights, I would say, is going to live longer, unless this Galio is just like a beast. Um, but I don't think he's that much of a beast. 32 HP here. I'd probably roll down at least to like 10. You could even remake Galio here, because you don't have the remover anymore. Um, yeah, you might even be able to like remake just completely the Galio. You play Yasuo here. I think Set's probably just a better unit. Um, I don't know, like I mean Yasuo just gets one shot. It's very plausible that Set might just get one shot as well, but I kind of like the CC a lot from Set where he pulls them together. And Yasuo is like almost always just gonna dash into backline and then just get one shot immediately. If he can get an ult off, he's probably not bad. But yeah, I'd prefer to just they're on Set usually. Ooh, there's an Ari with a Juggernaut spat, so you could put the Set in, put Juggernaut spat on Shen, and just have the Ari. Or I guess you can't put Set and Ari in, which is a little bit sad. You guarantee the Ari though. Ari's good in this comp, but I mean it is an Ari one with no items. Looks like you're going for like Shojin for Soraka, I guess, or maybe like Morello's or something. I think we don't have any. Oh, we have the Sunfire Race. We don't need Healing Rex. So yeah, you're probably going for Shojin Soraka. Man, I like Ari a lot, but yeah, we can't actually get the Juggernaut spat in. Okay, I think Shojin's fine here. Or you could like maybe go for the Zephyr, but I mean, yeah, getting a third item in Soraka is very solid. Um, we actually don't have any items for the Ari because it's not like we can move the Soraka items. Okay, so yeah, I think this is fine. I would just keep rolling here because like we're about to die. Just roll it to 0 here, and yeah, you do. Don't really hit anything. Hit a Galio. Okay, and so now we can move items. Yeah, I think this is fine. Just to get 3 items on 1 tank. I do think like the more capped version of the board is just playing a Tark 2 over the Sejuani, just because we don't really need the Freljord, and he just Bastion and Targon are really, really nice in this comp. But I do like, I mean, I'm not gonna cut this Sedge 2 for a Tark one here. Close. Okay, yeah, we win this. Actually, it's not even close. Our board's so much better than theirs, but I think the Zeri board is our doom here. Very strong. Yeah, we can just roll down here. If we find like an Ari, we can put it in. Just have random Yasuo pair. I'd probably sell the Yasuo on roll once because this is probably the last fight. And if you find an Ari, it's better than Yasuo, and then you'll have enough gold. Because you'll have the 6 from just rolling once. But I mean, I don't know if an Ari one's ever swinging this fight. Their board looks pretty strong, so we did do a lot of damage to the front line here. It was almost close. Okay, so it's a second. Yeah, I think mostly solid. Yeah, I mean, I talked through most of my thoughts, and I went sort of fast and just like said everything that I thought about it. Do you have any questions about the stuff that I talked through this game?
Not particularly. I think most of it boils down to like know when to roll, like the value and such like that.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
taking the hordes.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I think social distancing's fine. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we lost a lot of gold this game unnecessarily rolling. Like you can easily go fast 7 this game, maybe fast 8 this game with how big your win streak was. And you can have a very similar win streak without rolling so deep. So yeah, you'd have a lot more gold this game if you didn't roll so deep. Okay. We got another 20 minutes, so we can just hop into another VOD and then do as much as we can. You have a preference from the rest of these?
I think the Satamalo TFT one, I think I just go like a mega into it if you want to go over that one.
Okay, I'm down. Yeah, we'll have to go through slightly faster. I can't talk through every single thing, but we'll get through as much as we can. Okay.
I think I can just get to the end and just like brain fart out.
Okay. I mean, that also happens sometimes. If you know, like, that you just screwed up the game and you know how, like, sometimes that's just TFT. You know, like, you just make a really stupid decision and you hopefully won't make the stupid decision in the future. Like, I've done that a million times where I just do something and I'm like, okay, like, what am I doing here? I know I'm, like, doing something terrible, but I just did it. I don't know why. Oh, another Karma? Another Karma game? Oh, yeah, and we do pre-level here. Let's look at everything that we end up holding here. We hold Karma, Renekton. Yeah, I like this. I think this is fine. I don't love Shrima Opener that much. We don't end up hitting. Um, the, uh, the Stars Are Born. Rough. Okay, we should probably pick our augment before we slam items. I mean, it probably won't make a difference in the items that we slam, but yeah, I would definitely wait to pick augment first because I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you're thinking of going AFK here is the idea. That's why you
Yeah,
slam
I think
augment here.
I'd committed to AFK in mind.
Hmm. I mean, definitely we should at least, if you're hard commit to AFK, we should definitely at least roll these two first. Um, I mean, is AFK bad? I don't think AFK is necessarily bad here. It's just a little bit awkward with the sort of like Caitlyn idea and like the pre-level. Like you've already committed the pre-level, so our board's gonna be kind of strong. So it's not like we're gonna lose streak. I don't even hate something like our risky moves here. Like our board's not strong, but it's not bad. And if we hit like any upgrades, it'll be very solid. Yeah, I think I would probably just I roll these two and take risky moves. Maybe even take a 1, 2, 3, but I don't like this augment very much. Um, yeah, I don't necessarily hate AFK here though. It's not a terrible spot for it, but I just think like because you pre-leveled, like ideally you take AFK and then you lose the 3 fights and then you just play for 5 loss here. But because we're Caitlyn and we're pre-leveling, like we take AFK and like we're probably gonna win some of these. End up losing this one, but if we fight anyone like kind of weak, I mean, it would be great if we end up loss streaking here. Um, End up losing this fight as well. I mean, if it's a 3 loss, it's a 3 loss. And Renekton doesn't come in because we're not level 4 yet. So yeah, it looks like we ended up fighting actually 3 pretty strong boards. So we end up losing 3. So it actually ends up working out pretty well. I would be afraid of potentially winning some fights here, but I mean, yeah, it actually ends up quite solid. The only downside is we also lose out on the shops that we could see. Like we lose out on the possibility of finding like Cassio 2 and Renekton 2. We have Giant Spell to open here. Um, I mean, comps wise, we've slammed an Archangels in this game. We have the Karma. It could just be it could just be another Invokers game. I think that's what I'd be thinking of right now as sort of the default, and I would just go for like a Rod. Yep, I like it. Um, and then like it also could be like I don't know a Zero Lux or something. But yeah, we get all of our gold here. I would definitely like to lose this fight, so I wouldn't make my board too strong if possible. I would also like to make gold here ideally. Which yeah, you end up selling Renekton. I think I think this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. And we're gonna lose this fight. We gotta make sure we lose the next fight though. That's the crucial thing because there's the Trist player probably. Actually no. Wait, these boards don't even look
No, we
that.
lost the Trist player.
Oh yeah, okay, we already lost the Trist player. Okay, nice. Yeah, because these boards don't even look that weak. Um, this person's Warwick 2 with Ionia Spat. This person has just like solid Sorkson. Um, we should lose these. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, if you really want to be careful, you can do exactly like that and put the Cassio in over the other Cassio just to sack the items. I think that's smart. Yeah, I'm completely down for this. But yeah, like I think we're probably never losing any of these fights. Like no one else is actually trying to lose streak here, so I think I mean it's good to have the habit of like guaranteeing your loss streak here, but I think you could have maybe even saved a little bit of HP and just played like almost a normal board, and you're pretty much always gonna lose this because no one else is actually like trying to lose streak in this spot. So yeah, but I mean, good opener. And yeah, it went really well with the AFK. I don't know, maybe I got to try AFK re-level sometime because it didn't look terrible here. We just get dropped an Ionic Spark for free. I like that a lot. 5 cost Duplicator. Okay, so now when I hit something like 5 cost Duplicator, I mean it can still be used in Invokers, but I really like playing like more like fast 8 type comps with it. Just because like you get more value out of duping a 4 cost than a 3 cost. But I don't know. I think we'll sort of see what we hit here. Wait, there's another situation where you roll. I think in situations like this at 3-2, when I'm relatively healthy and I have a lot of gold, I like to just sack the beginning of stage 3 and then just 3-5 roll it down. Um, I mean, I think it's definitely not bad to stabilize in a situation like this, but yeah, like I really like more of a just like sacking. You just have to sack 3 rounds. If you lose them, you get an insane amount of lost streak gold, and you're 70 HP. It's not like you're low here at all. You're like actually very healthy. So if you don't roll here and then just roll your gold at level 7, I feel like you just have a much higher chance of hitting like everything. Um, but okay, so it is gonna be another invoker angle. Yeah, I mean I don't really like any of these. I don't really like Transfusion 1. I'd probably Pharmacist here. Yeah, Transfusion 1, I just feel like the numbers on this augment are very good. Every time I've taken this augment, I've felt a little bit like down on it. I do think it should be good, and like this is the spot where Transfusion 1 should be very good. But I just think the numbers on it aren't good enough, which is sort of unfortunate. Maybe they'll buff it. Um, but I do think like the logic behind taking Transfusion is good here. I just don't think it's that good. I don't think you need to dupe this Karma. We're on a 6 loss streak. If we keep our loss streak, it's fine. Like I think, I don't know. You're rolling a lot here. Are you like afraid of being like low HP? Is that why you're rolling this much, or what?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I'm just addicted to rolling.
yeah, I think so too.
I'm in
Like,
Kai's chat too much.
yeah, that's actually it. That's you've been your mind has been destroyed by watching Kai roll to 0 every game at level 7 or something. But yeah, like I mean, like we have a lot of stuff to roll for here, but I would have just rolled at 7 just because like it's not like you're gonna be dead by then. Okay, and you definitely shouldn't be rolling here. Like we have our whole board. The only thing we're rolling for is Sarakatu Karma, but we can just like the idea of like I think you need to work on finding out when boards are like quote unquote stable, like when boards are strong enough for the stage where you don't take a lot of damage. This board is stable. We have a Tark 2, a Swain 2, we have good item slammed. The transfusion is like fine. Like we're not going to take 50 damage here. And like we don't need to use the duplicator on Karma. It's like if we're on a win streak, I would use this duplicator, but like there's no like win streak to protect here. We win or lose this fight, it doesn't make a huge difference at the end of the day. So yeah, and then we could greed the duplicator for like, later game, like late game, like an RE2, or even just like Karma 3, or like we pivot into like a zero lux, like a Lux or something like that. Items wise here, we take glove for guard breaker, I think. Items are pretty awkward here. Like we have these 2 tank items. The like glove can sort of be a carry, or like the belt can turn into a carry item with glove. I probably still would just grade for another rod in this comp. I still want JG and Gunblade in this position. So yeah, this comp just loves as many rods as possible. I like this. I like going 7 here. And okay, maybe you roll here. I'm definitely down to just not roll here until 4-1 and just like wait up, because I still like talking about boards being stable. Yeah, you do roll here, of course, of course. Yeah, it has to be done, has to roll. But like I think like your board is strong enough for 3-5 right now. At 4-1, you should probably roll just to find like the rest of the upgrades, like Soraka 2, List 2. But like your board is perfectly strong enough. And you see, like we stomp that fight. I don't know how this next fight goes, but there's no way we're gonna take any like huge losses the rest of the stage, because like our board's already fine. So yeah, I think you need to, yeah, we absolutely stomped this person as well. So like we didn't need to roll there at all. Like we absolutely stomped those 2 fights and we didn't hit any upgrades with those rolls that we did. I like that you didn't roll too deep here. Um, okay, so yeah, we win that fight, and now we're in kind of an interesting spot where we have Karma 2, we have List 2. Okay, we have Soraka 2. I'm down to not roll at all here then, and just either slow roll for Karma 3, or push fast 8. Okay, a couple of things. One, items wise, it's a little bit awkward. We could just go the Titan's Shen angle, Titan's Gargoyle Shen. It's probably just that actually. That's really good. Okay, I'm down for that, and then we'll just make a Karma item later. The other thing is, we're invokers, but we only have 3 karmas. In positions like this, I like pushing fast 8, and then we can play around the more capped version of the board with like Ari and Rise and stuff. Um, Sadly, Ari's like a little bit worse. She's not as insane as she used to be. You go for Bramble here. The problem with building Bramble in this spot is like a problem of item economy. You build Bramble here, but then what are we left with? We're left with Bow, Cloak as our items, so we're gonna have to build something else, and then maybe like a giant slayer. It's not really what I want to be building. I would rather just get rid of all these components than go for like a rod on carousel or a glove on carousel and then build a really good last karma item. Um, so yeah, like you not only like when you build items in TFT, you have to think about like the item that you're building, but you also have to think about like what components you're left with. And these components are like quite awkward because We don't we don't really need the cloak anymore. We already have Ionic Spark, and like the bow is just not that great of an item in this comp. So yeah, and then you're rolling here. I mean, we definitely don't need to roll deep here. Like if you're gonna roll, you should roll your gold above 50 and look for Karma 3. But yeah, like I said, when you play this comp, I think a more fast, like in a spot like this where we only have 3 Karmas, it's very unlikely that we're just gonna hit Karma 3 easily this game. I think just fast 8, play around Ari and Rise is really solid. Um, and yeah, like you see, we stomp this fight as well. We don't need Rise. When I would always just ignore your enemy here. It's just really good. It's really good. Um, yeah, agreed for sure. Um, but yeah, okay, we can look a little bit ahead because we're slightly low on time. Go through some of these, but I mean, this looks like a pretty good spot. I'm curious. You're saying the game ends up like doomed or something like that. End up
Yeah.
end up getting the rise or getting the rod, which is really nice. I would have liked to like had all our items slammed here. We just take rod and then we have open rod, which is really good. But now we have 3 open components, so there's a very realistic chance that our items um, after dragon end up just being like terrible. Like if we just get dropped a bunch of garbage, it can be really bad. Imagine if we get dropped like just a sword or something like that. I haven't counted our item components so far, but um, we have 8 components on board. We have 11 total components. Um, yeah. So we'll see how many items we end up getting dropped here. But like if you get dropped just like a sword or just like a sword and like a bow or something, like you can easily see a world where items are like terrible. I don't think you need to pivot into Sorks here. I think this board's perfectly fine. Oh, okay, yeah, and it's it's I didn't realize, but it's the one where you get Treasure Dragon and it's Radiant item in the Treasure Dragon. Okay. Interesting. I don't really like this one that much. Is this have we rolled already?
I end up rolling a lot here.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this was the Treasure Dragon, the world that Treasure Dragon is. Like sometimes you just
First,
roll
I
in.
check him like,
Oh, who cares what that person has? Oh,
no, I was saying to make sure everyone gets a radiant item.
oh, okay. I'm, it's this. Isn't this great?
Yeah, it was for sure this, but I was thinking for some reason I was like, I want Radiant Gunblade or Radiant Giant Slayer.
I mean, those items are fine, but Radiant JG is so good here. It gives you the JG for the crit with the Guard Breaker. And then like your items, it probably ends up having to be like ZZ Rot, Gargoyle, or it could even be like Titan Zephyr. I mean, Titan Zephyr doesn't even sound that bad. So like your tank items work out well, and you get a Radiant JG. So yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Radiant JG here is really solid with the fact that you don't have any spell crit yet. Oh, I mean, it's not that. I don't think it's that, but this looks fun. But like, it's not that because I mean, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if we like full pivoted into oh my god. I mean, maybe we do. Um. Ah. Okay. We're going crazy
Well,
here.
I still like.
Okay. We're going crazy, and then we're just fast 8 and then full pivot the board. Okay. I mean, yeah. I guess like ideally it'd be like an Azir Lux game, but I'm pretty sure this is like too far of a pivot to make.
Yep.
Yeah. Even if you're the god of
Yep.
TFT, I don't know about this pivot. Like one, just like mentally, um, it's like so hard to do, and two, it just like you have to hit everything. Like to play this Azir, we want to hit like a Nasus 2. Ideally, I guess we'd also hit like a Lux 2 and then put some more items on her. It's just such a hard pivot to make. Okay, so yeah, I think you got a little bit lost in the sauce here and try to make like this huge. I would just say, unless you have an insanely good reason to make this huge pivot, which like Radiant Static Shiv Radiant Gwynsu is like, I mean, it's fine, but I don't think I don't think it's a reason to make this like crazy pivot. I would just have rolled again and looked for something else. You would keep rolling, looking for Gunblade if you really want Radiant Gunblade because it is really solid. Um, but yeah, or was in my chat. I think he needs about 60 more gold for this play. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, yeah, you just you actually hit a decent amount of the board, but we're stuck on Nasus 1. We don't even have a Zero 2. Yeah, it's so far away getting to this board. It's just there's no possible way. And then you can get like Garvin in here. Okay, but now we built Heimerdinger and spent all this gold on
Yep.
upgrades, but then oh, it's a disaster. It's actually a disaster. Yeah. I would stay away from crazy pivots like this. I mean, if you make it work, you're a god, but probably this is a LP negative play for sure, I would say. I would say most often this play loses LP for sure. Techno genius mode. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, I think up to that you played the game pretty solid. The stuff that I talked about, yeah, I basically covered most of my thoughts on this already. Do you have any questions about this game? I know the end is kind of crazy, but I think up until that is a pretty solid game of TFT. Like I said, I didn't perfectly love the items, but um, I think mostly
Yeah, no,
solid and like the rolling as
definitely
well.
did. I wasn't even thinking about like Titan's Shin.
Hmm.
I also think I value my current board more than future board. So like building the Bramble on the Tarek because it's a 2-star
Hmm.
over the Shin who's a 1-star.
Yeah, I just think
Um,
yeah, I think that's fine. It's just like later game, it's gonna get kind of awkward having like it's hard to remake sometimes. This Terra can find another Terra too. Versus like this Shen, like we could have easily hit a Shen too. At the end of like at like 4 or 5 or something. Like it is you are playing for like strongest, which is good. And when you had that remover, it was fine. But in situations like this, where like yeah, I would have just put my items on Shen, especially because like Tarek is going to tank a bit for Shen anyway. So like he's still gonna be yeah, I don't know. He's still gonna be a tanky guy, but yeah. Um, yeah, I think over the 2 games that we watched, I would say the biggest thing is just over-rolling in situations where you don't need to roll that deep. Um, and then like I said, like some of the item stuff, I would have made like slightly different items. Thinking about like the item economy, like what you do to your items here, because Bramble is a solid. If we had Chain here, I'm very very happy to make Bramble in this situation. But we don't have Chain. We have Chain Cloak Bow, and so then when we slam Bramble, then we're left with the Cloak Bow, and so then we have to figure out what we're doing with that, and then it ends up. Um, I mean, our items kind of just go crazy anyway because of Treasure Dragon. But I think like even
yeah.
if even if we hadn't had Treasure Dragon, like it's very possible that our items just would have gone crazy. Um, so yeah. Any other questions about this game or just like any other games that yeah, any other games?
I did have one question.
Hmm?
I saw you scouting in tournament. You're just like quickly, really quickly scouting. What are you
Oh,
doing to do
it's
that?
it's there's a hotkey in game. I don't know if I can show it in client. You might have to go in game to see it. Um, It's not. I don't think you can see it in client. I think you have to go into game. But yeah, go to hotkeys. Does Teamfight Tactics have its own section? What I do is it's something like I don't know if you showed me like what your settings look like in game, I could see it. Or like you can find it if you look in settings a little bit. But it's something like player I don't know, camera or something like that. But you can basically set hotkeys to look at different players. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 as first, second, third, fourth, and then QWER. And so I just like to tab through them. I just hit 1 here, and then I hit 2 to look here, 3 to hit 3 to hit here, 4 to hit here. And so like if I have to scout like second place, fifth place, and eighth place, it's like kind of hard. But you hit like 2QR, 2QR, 2QR. It's actually really helpful, especially if you want to. Oh, where's your cell hotkey? I rebound cell to T now, which took some getting used to. But yeah, I rebound cell to T. So I don't know if you want to do something different, you can. But that's how I do it. So yeah,
All right. Well, thank you. Very insightful.
yeah. Hopefully this helped. I think there's a lot of good stuff in these games. Uh, and uh, and yeah, I think yeah, I mean, this was it was an ambitious it was an ambitious pivot. I like the idea of the well, okay, I hate the idea of the pivot, but I like the courage to go for the pivot. But you'll probably lose more LP if you do stuff like that. But is it interesting? It made for an interesting VOD. Um, but yeah, hopefully this helped.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, I'll talk to you later.
See ya. Bye.